Is it expensive? Can you find work? These are the top 5 things you need to know before moving to Washington. Hi guys, I'm Austin with the Robertson Collective, your favorite Tacoma real estate broker, and today I'm going to break down the 5 things that you need to know before you consider making a move to my state, Washington. Listen, this isn't just some random idea. It wasn't all that long ago that I was packing up my family of 7 and hauling them over the 2,000 miles when we made our personal move from the Midwest to the upper left coast. Hey, if you find any value in this video, please like and subscribe. So the entire West Coast isn't exactly known for its low cost of living. The advantage above most of the West Coast is you can get a little bump because we do have no state income taxes. Cost of living also really comes down to where you choose to live. For example, if you live in the area I serve, Pierce County, which has cities like Tacoma and Bonnie Lake, you can buy a home on average for about $30,000 less than you can in the rest of Western Washington. Let's say though that you really want to get a big city place in Seattle, which is a very dense, very high-rise centered area, and of course it's the 15th largest city in the country. You can expect to be paying a whole lot more. According to PayScale, the cost of living in Seattle is actually 94% higher than the national average. Across the greater Pierce and King County area, you can expect to pay between $500,000 and $1 million for a home, depending on where you choose to live. So let's take a quick look at what it looks like to live right here. We'll use my area, Tahale and Bonnie Lake, for reference. Home costs are a little over $3,000 a month for a house payment. Our energy bill for 7 people runs just a little over $300. My last doctor's visit cost me around $150. And at the time of filming this, gas is actually about $5 a gallon, but normally mid to high threes has been what we've seen. All right, number 2, and the one everyone always talks about, the weather. First off, let's just address the giant pink elephant in the room, rain. Now, while the weather obviously can change where you are in this state, we are famous for rain. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Short of an atmospheric river that does come across once in a while, rain here is not like rain I've experienced before out in the Midwest. Instead, we should just call it precipitation. What you'll see when you're here is you'll notice that most of the locals walking around don't have umbrellas, don't have coats. When it comes to being one of the rainiest cities, he actually comes in 6th behind cities like Rochester and Portland, Oregon. Tacoma, for reference, gets about 41 inches of rain per year, yet compared to the national average in the U.S., which is 38, and looking at the other side of our state, Eastern Washington is actually a lot more arid and it's relatively dry. In the Tacoma, Seattle area, you're going to be finding moderate winters. Tacoma gets on average just 3 to 4 inches of snow a year. A cool summer, our averages are about 71 to 76 degrees in the summer months. Now looking over to the east, you're going to find hotter summers. Spokane actually averages temperatures of 74 to 84 degrees in the summer months, but you'll also be experiencing colder winters, staying in the 30s for about 3 months straight. Not to mention a whopping 44 inches of snow a year. All right, let's go straight into number 3. This one might not be one most people would have thrown on their list, but let's talk about taxes. Now, first of all, as I mentioned before, the state of Washington does not have a state income tax, which is great. This is a nice little break, but as all things, everything is going to even out. Washington does have wild high sales tax. It's about 6.5%, and it doesn't stop there. Unfortunately, most cities have additional sales taxes that can easily push that amount up to around 10.5%. Other taxes to consider. Real estate taxes will be about 1.28% of the worth of your home, and the wildest one, in my opinion, is Washington's alcohol tax. The alcohol tax in Washington is an insane 20.5%. These taxes are something to consider when planning your move. All right, number 4, let's talk about jobs. Let's look at the job market. Many people planning on making a move need help finding a job, and it can be a top concern for many people. Well, luckily for you, there are a ton of jobs in Washington. Washington is widely celebrated for its business, technology, and innovation. Companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Expedia have thousands of available jobs at any time. And in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, many of these companies still have options that allow you to work from home. Washington company Costco is a fantastic place to work too. Costco has around 200,000 plus employees. The reason you see so many people migrate towards Costco is not only because of the great pay and the benefits, but the company actually is one of the few that actually has plenty of room for people to grow into. Boeing, Nordstrom, Alaska Airlines, and Starbucks all call Washington home. Boeing has around 72,000 employees in Washington state across multiple campuses. Alaska Airlines has just under 10,000 jobs, and Starbucks has 4,000 employees at its corporate headquarters, not to mention the coffee shops. Now, outside of aerospace and technology, we can take a good look at the other side of things, farming. Washington actually produces over 70% of all the apples in the United States. They also specialize in Christmas trees, cherries, and other foods. The chain of farming from production to trade itself creates thousands of jobs. A study from Wallet Hub shows Washington State actually as the number 2 state in the entire country for employment. Hey, let me know where you're considering moving in the state, and I'll send you some of the best employers in that area. I also think it's important to point out that many jobs in Washington are comfortable hiring you even if you're out of the state and moving to our area. So don't wait until you get here. Go ahead and apply and get the ball rolling right now. All right, lastly, number 5, figuring out which city is right for you. Now, moving across the country or even a state can be a daunting task. The last thing you want to do is make a huge move and end up hating where you moved to. If you rent, you're stuck there for at least a year, and if you buy a home there, well, it's probably a longer story altogether. So what we have to do is we have to look at what's really important to you. Do you love urban living? Well, Seattle might be the best for you. That said, cities like Tacoma and Spokane are also incredible cities with a much lower cost of living and still have a ton to do. Do you like being left alone? Are you more of a country boy? Well, places like Wenatchee or Orting might be better options for your family. No matter what is right for you, make sure that you take time to plan it out. Be confident, comfortable, and prepared when you make your move. If there is anything that we can do for you, please feel free to reach out to us. Hey, listen, I hope you got something beneficial from this video. Until next time, I'm Austin, and I cannot wait to see you right here with us in the Evergreen State.